Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. All right. By the way, I don't, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Let's see. Thank you all so much for being here. And I'll just say hi as I go along. Thank you so much for being here first, Lydia Washington. Hey, Connie Balmer, Angela May, Carol Lunn. All right. Um, oh man. Kate wore her busy work outfit. That's what she wears when she's doing busy work. Um, yeah, that's what that is. And notice that she's pulling her hair back just to make sure that you don't know that she was wearing a wig. I think now she's probably just using like the little wiglets or extensions or whatever, but no more big wig flopping all over the place. It was too much of the wrong attention. So I think she learned her lesson. Um, but yeah, so that's what that is. And she looks a little strange. She looks a little weird. And I just thought I would point that out. And as for the Sussexes, we're going to take a little look back because they accused the Duchess of Sussex of disrupting, not disrupting, but interrupting um, Harry. Uh, they they have a video that they clipped it where you could not see what was said before or after. And I've been looking for a longer version of it, and I simply cannot find it. But they decided to take a little license with it, and I don't like it. But remember, Harry is miserable and afraid of Meghan, and you could see from that big smile plastered all over his face, he lives in constant fear of the Duchess of Sussex. Let them tell it. She has been bullying him. Yeah. Um, and that's why he wants to come back to the UK because he's afraid. I mean, look at the fear all over his face. Self evident, I think. So anyway, welcome to Royal Sussex. A statement. This is a statement from the Sussexes. Dear Jane Goodall, DBE. I'm sorry, not dearest doctor. Look at me, dear. Like they're slow down, slow down. Okay, Dr. Jane Goodall, DBE, was a visionary, humanitarian, scientist, friend to the planet, and friend to us. She held our son Archie when he was first born and and showered love and care to those who were privileged to know her. She will be deeply missed, Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Thank you for signing that with your titles. Um, because they are royal prince and princess. And of course, they are royal duke and duchess, just in case anyone forgets. So when you address them, it's not your grace like you would with a regular duke, is your royal highness because they're royal. Okay, just to clear that up for anybody who's confused. Hey, Antoinette Kennedy. By the way, what's his name? What's the guy? He's part Asian, part African. Um, the one that has the curly hair. Um, I looked at one of his Instagrams, I think it was, and the um, the shaman is kind of mad at him. He's not happy with him because he didn't like the review that I am so embarrassed I cannot remember his name, but I can see his face. That's what's so weird is I can see his face, but I the name escapes me. But anyway, he has a Sussex friendly space, and that Durek guy, he critiqued his video, and my goodness, he was one unhappy camper. Um, I thought the documentary, the Rebel Royals, I thought the documentary was okay. I mean, I thought it was very interesting. It certainly exceeded my expectations, although I don't know that I had high expectations, but um, I thought the shaman was a bit of a prima donna, and I did not like him before I watched the documentary. And having watched the documentary, I like him now. I wasn't sure what his okay, it wasn't that I questioned his motives. I just questioned his background. Shaman? Shaman? I thought he was like going to be some new age wacko, weirdo. But he seems okay. Oh, it's in Royal News? Is that the name of it? Oh, thank you so much for that. I could not remember. Lord Everett. That's it. Lord Everett. That's what he calls himself. And it's in Royal News. Thank you so much. Um, but yeah, the shaman guy was rather put off with him. I was like, wow, this is a little juicier than I was expecting for a you know, what day was it? Thursday afternoon. Good God, is it Friday? Where did the week go? Where did the week go? Oh my goodness, the week has gone by so fast. Did somebody roofie me or what? What happened to the week? Anyway, okay, I want to see if I can find his channel now. Um, let me see. What was it? Okay. And that was Royal in Royal News. Okay. In Royal News. Ah, I see him there. Oh man. So apparently the shaman was following him, right? Across all social media, the shaman was following him. And guess what? Now Derek is not following him. Why is that so funny to me? Was it something he said? Or was it the way he said it? Lord have mercy, that was funny. I was okay, okay. Um Let me see. I just wanted you to hear a little bit of it if I can figure out how to do that. Um okay. You can see I'm feeling very messy, right? I am feeling messy. But I tell you, the way things are going in this country right now, I need a distraction. I'm almost afraid to turn on the television. Mm,
Dirk Barrett has seen my video on Rebel Royal.
uh-oh. Oh, it's buffering. Oh, it's buffering bad too. Why is it buffering? Okay, come on. I don't need you to do that right now.
of Norway sent me a very long message about it because he did not like what I had to say and unfollowed me off of all social media platforms. Am I upset? Am I going to show you what he said? Yes. Do I have thoughts? Absolutely. Let's get into it. You can either take a screenshot or pause the video and read all that. I would start with the left side first and then end with the right. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but my name is in royal news, not in Shaman Durek Verrett news, not in Princess Martha Louise news, in royal news. And I'm going to give an unbiased opinion. I am not on payroll, except for myself. The reason why I was at a loss for words is because the documentary was shit. It's fucking terrible. It took me 3 different tries to watch it. Me saying it was Durek Verrett, the miniseries with Princess Martha sprinkled in, is because it did nothing but feed your ego. That's what it really did. On one side, she wouldn't have minded having a smaller wedding. You say, no, absolutely not. That's not going to happen. I'm going to have a royal wedding because I'm going to be a royal. You take on no royal duties, which is the truth. You have no royal title, which is the truth. Even on the Norwegian royal family website, it is stated clear as day that.
Okay, you guys. Out of fairness to him, I'm going to just stop it right there. But here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you his Instagrams. Now, you can go over there. That was about half of it. Oh my god. Why is that tickling me so bad? Um okay, I just pinned it to the top of the chat. Feel free to watch it at your leisure. Oh my goodness, that just tickled me so bad. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the super chat. And Winsome Jones, thank you for the super sticker. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, both of you, because I am feeling so super shady. Derek was hot. Do you hear me? Derek is like not happy. Um, I don't know. It was just he gave an honest assessment of the of the documentary. So anyway, I just love it. That's just so messy. I can't stop smiling. Oh, but he told the truth. I was listen. I was uncomfortable with the whole I'm royal now. I want a royal wedding. I was not comfortable with that. I thought that was being just a bit pushy, but you know, here's the thing. I'm sorry. He is royal. Well, no, he's not royal. He's married to a royal princess. And okay. I got to tell you that little part where oh, how do I put it? That little part where he says mm, oh, when he said, "Did you see the princess or the princess Martha Louise is here?" Remember they were at some little party or something, and he's like guiding someone to the royal princesses here. Does he not get that what she loves about being in LA is that people do not notice um her and that she can be free of all of the pomp and circumstance? Okay. You know what though? I really came away from that documentary. It's on Netflix, by the way. I really walked away from that I in love with her. I can see why he fell in love with her. But him, I'm just neutral. I like him more now than before. but I sure ain't crazy about him. Um, he's a handful. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna be as nice as I can about it. But I love that that he decided to look at his face. Look at that picture. Look at Derek's face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. uh you know, I bet you the princess, I'm pretty sure that she just has a good laugh about how fussy he is. That's all you could do is just have a good laugh about it. Because if you're trying to take him serious, I don't think you could. But look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Woo. Okay. Oh God, I'm hot now. Mm-mm-mm. Poor Derek. Poor Derek. He's just trying to get some respect. And he's trying to be royal, I guess. But he's just trying to get some respect. That's all he's doing. I'm royal now. I want a royal wedding. I'm royal now. Woo. Okay. Okay. Lord, I got tears running out of my eyes. Poor Derek. Oh well. He's a shaman. He should have saw that coming. Um and apparently I overlooked someone's milestone. Let me see, where is that? um ooh, 31 months membership. Carol Lund, thank you so much for 31 months membership. And thank you so much for being here with Royal Sussex. Okay. Okay, poor Derek. I got to get that face off the screen because every time I look at it. Oh, man. Poor Derek. Durrett. I'm sorry, Durrett. Durrett. Uh, oh, man. They hurried up and got rid of him, didn't they? Oh, boy. Um, okay, okay, okay. I'm done. um, mm, mm. okay. Okay. He blocked him on all of the social media. He's upset now. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. I gotta stop looking at him. Anyway, that was a statement for Jane Goodall. All right. Now, former chief sergeant of the Ukrainian Marines Corps. Former sergeant of the Ukrainian Marine Corps. Was it Mikhailo Pleskava, Pleshava, no, Pleshakov handed the Chevron to Prince Harry as a, oh, it's a little typo, as a symbol of resilience and gratitude for supporting Ukraine during the last visit. So this is actually the latest picture or the last picture that has come from Harry's visit, and I think it came out of, well, it kind of just showed up. But anyway, a nice picture. I enjoy all of the pictures from his Ukraine visit. And of course, we know he's not the only senior member of the royal family that has gone there recently. But I'm going to interrupt that storyline with this, as this is why some get triggered. And this is why some get triggered. Meghan is being loved on correctly. She is being chosen, loved, protected, cared for. She married a man who feels her pain and wants to protect her. This is why the right wing hate her and attack Prince Harry. How dare he treat her well? Um, so I'm going to play the sound for that. Hope it sounds okay. Let me see here. All right, I got that ready. Oh wait, do I? Okay. Okay, here goes. Oh, my phone is buffering. Looks like the signal is.
If you choose to date a man, you better make sure that.
Yeah, it looks like the signal is just kind of weird tonight. Let's try that again.
If you choose to date a man, you better make sure that.
Oh no!
Your opinion of him is more important to him than the opinions of other men.
And he had a few issues which were based not on reality. And I was defending my wife, and he was coming for my wife. She wasn't there at the time, but through the things that he was saying.
Just in case anyone's confused, this is real masculinity. Name a man who had more to lose than Prince Harry for standing up for Meghan Markle. But it was so important for him to not only stand up against misogyny, racism, bigotry, to stand up to anyone disrespecting his.
Oh, it's buffering like crazy. So, let me find another source. I can do better than that.
Here's everything you need to know about the original.
Boy. Okay. Okay. I can do better than that.
Perez Hilton and why the world canceled him.
Oh, Perez Hilton. Yuck. Not what I'm looking for. Perez Hilton is a monster. And that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay. I just want to make sure that it's buffering like crazy. And I can do better than that. So give me just a minute.
She was feeling confident and sexy. I like my life. I love my job. I love my friends.
I'm sure you do. Oh, wow. Everything is bad. So sorry. My
An
phone
extremely
is
odd
just like
individual.
buffering like crazy.
Pretty privileged.
Uh-huh.
You're an extremely odd.
Okay.
101 Dalmatians is a cautionary tale. Corella said it all. Every single girl needs to.
She was feeling confident and
Okay, maybe it'd be easier if I just follow her. No, not now. Okay. Well, I'm just about ready to give up, but I don't want to.
101 Dalmatians.
Oh, no, not that.
sexy.
Okay, how about
I
that?
like
That was
my
the wrong
life.
channel.
I love my job. I love my friends.
Oh,
She
shut up,
couldn't
Miranda.
believe how comfortable this new Miranda felt. And I love meeting new people.
Okay. This is so weird. It's not working. Okay, you know what? I'll just come back to it because it is really giving me problems right now. Okay, I'll come back to it because it is like being a fool. So I'll just move on. So this is what I was referring to. This is the Marcy Lab. This is in New York. This was it October of 2023? Anyway, Harry and Meghan had the Parents Network over at the Hudson Yard. Then they went over to the Marcy Lab something school. And Meghan wore this, I guess you call it a Letterman jacket. That was a gift that she received while she was in the UK back in 2020. That was like her last day of official royal duty. So that is when she received that as a gift from the class where, the guy was saying, "Oh, she's beautiful, isn't it?" Well, that's where she got that one from. So when she went there, how brilliant of her to pull that jacket out. Um, all those years she had it, right? I guess 3 years, and they didn't even know whether or not she wore it. And just as a surprise, she goes to a high school. Boom, she pulls that jacket out. Almost looking like one of the well, she does. She just looks like one of the students. I mean, she's so petite and so pretty. She seems like she could be one of the high school students. This right here, this is where they say that she had, I guess, cut Harry off or whatever. I cannot find for the life of me the clip that they used. However, I have been able to find the one that I saved from that day. And it was driving me crazy trying to find it, but I did eventually find it. As you can see, I get a bit obsessive when I'm looking for something. So, um, uh, ooh, I don't want that one. Oh, how did she get in that? No, I don't want that one. Okay, I could do better than that. I certainly don't want that one. Yeah. Okay. Um, and the Marcy. Oh no. Okay. Unfortunately. Oh, okay. Okay. There it is. There it is. Yes, because I really don't want that one. Um. Okay, it is what it is. I guess I'm gonna have to use that one. All right, here goes.
It's education, and I think all of us can stand behind the value and the importance of education, especially having access to it. But that access to it and what it is can now come in different shapes and forms, and you can still show up in the world in such a strong and valuable way. Even if you don't take the more traditional route, you're still taking a route of education that is going to be additive. That's the piece that's so powerful about the work here.
So that is the occasion, but I cannot find the one that they used, but they just like cut it where you couldn't hear. I mean, where you couldn't see any more than what they wanted you to see. However, I still got some more from that day. Since we're here anyway, I'm just going to show you what I got. Okay. And there is this. Let me grab this one for you.
It's education, and I think all of us can stand behind the value and the importance of education, especially having access to it. But that access to it and what it is can now come in different shapes and forms, and you can still show up in the world in such a strong and valuable way. Even if you don't take the more traditional route, you're still taking a route of education that is going to be additive. That's the piece that's so powerful about the work here.
Okay, so there you go. Anyway, that is from that day, and I still have a few more pics that I want to show you from that occasion. I love this trip to school that they had. Meghan looks beautiful. What they just don't get, okay, so as married couple, sometimes you kind of both are talking at the same time. And because Harry loves Meghan as much as he does. He just kind of yields. I mean, sitting that close to her, obviously, he took a look at her and just was at a loss for words. That's all. It happens. And especially with her looking so darn cute that day. She looked absolutely adorable. This is like one of my favorite appearances of theirs, even though all of them are my favorite, but I love this one in particular. I mean, looking like high school sweethearts. Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex visited the Brooklyn-based Marcy Lab School in October 2023 to promote its mission of providing alternative, tuition-free software engineering and tech education for young people, with their Archwell Foundation providing funding for the program. During their visit, they met with fellows and alumni to learn about the program's impact and its focus on combining technical skills with mental wellness and civic engagement. So that is why they were there. Again, cute. Don't they look adorable? I just love that. Now, Meghan wearing the varsity Letterman jacket she received from the debate team at the Robert Clack School in Essex in March of 2020. So on the right, that is where she held the jacket up for everyone to look at it. And on the left, that's where she actually wears the jacket publicly for the first time. And again, I think it looks adorable on her. Lex says, Harry and Meghan go back and forth. Parents Network interview. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I mean, let's face it. They comb through their archives looking for anything that they can use as some indictment against the two of them. And it sells because, well, they're just fascinating. And people like to keep up with them. So it's like easy money for the tabloids. Easy money for them. Which is why I hope and pray that the Sussexes one day will say, hey, well, actually, they won't say it, but Forbes is going to list them as billionaires, a billionaire power couple. And that's what I really want for them because they deserve it. Oh, by the way, thank you, Lex. They're making money for everybody. Everybody's making money from them, except from them. They have to invest and work and this and that. How come they just can't get money from their story? And if they are getting some money, I want them to get more. The more, the better. Okay. Now, here are some of the comments that people made in regards to that unfortunate criticism of the Sussexes. Something like that, I always defer to the comments because it just makes me feel better knowing that real people understand exactly what the plot is. So here you can see, be respectful. Why don't you? That's our future queen you're talking about. This person was reminding people that Meghan is going to be the future queen of the United Kingdom. Yeah, right. They should be so lucky. I'm sorry. She's absolutely stunning, though. She stops any man in his tracks with her level of beauty. Beauty can be very intimidating for a guy, especially when it's on this level. I mean, look at her jawline and just her features. They're literally like in the top 0.1% of most attractive women alive. Wow. Well, Majid, who lives in Manchester, I guess Meghan has a fan. And by the way, you can tell when it's going to be something really good. Notice that this comment was rated, well, actually, it has 29 likes and 400 dislikes. When they're talking about the Sussexes, always go for the hate comments. Well, the hated comments, because that's the ones where the derangers, which is most of their audience, the derangers usually will say that it's not a good comment. They'll hate on it. So you notice that anything that's red with all those numbers, it usually means that someone said something positive about the Sussexes. So let me see. The next one says, I do not see anything wrong with this. Is husband and wife. They seem happy, and she is not interrupting. Stop lying and creating division. You mainstream media, you are double standards. You mainstream media, you are double standard. Well, little typo, but we get the point. Next it says, yet there wasn't much headlines when Kate interrupted the Queen's conversation with the First Lady. Huh? Where was all the comments when Kate interrupted Camilla, when Camilla was talking to that First Lady? There was not much said about that. They tried to bury it, but people kept talking about it. But yeah, that was a disruption. Huh. Okay, what about this one? And she's beautiful. I'd collapse every time I look at her as well. Ah, I love that. See?
It's education, and I think all of us can stand behind the value and the importance of education, especially having access to it. But that access to it and what it is can now come in different shapes and forms, and you can still show up in the world in such a strong and valuable way. Even if you don't take the more traditional route, you're still taking a route of education that is going to be additive. That's the piece that's so powerful about the work here.
Right, Harry? Right, Harry? Harry's like, Did you hear Harry in the background? Uh-huh. See there? See there? See what I'm talking about? And let's see. Tony says, love Meghan. She's brilliant. Someone else said, what's the issue? She's more intelligent, trained to use her voice and confidence. Why should she be quiet or play second fiddle? Get a grip. Both Diana's boys are weaklings and are constantly in need of being held up like cardboard cutouts. Well, I guess this person doesn't like either one of them. That's unusual, but usually people pick a side, but this person can't stand either one of them. Okay, let me see. More lies. Our beautiful Meghan does not interrupt Harry at all. She just helps him find his words. Hello. She helps him find his words. That's all. That wasn't disrupting. That was helping him find his words. And by the way, that's her husband. She has a right to do that. Okay, got just a couple more of these. This one's kind of long. Meghan is a born speaker and interviewee. She doesn't do this to usurp Harry's delivery. It is a nervous and automatic reaction. I believe he has talked to her about it and why they have split up some of their appearances. It is not uncommon between couples where one is a type A and the other is a more relaxed and slower. Also, sometimes she perceives him as going off the rails, so to speak, and she definitely is able to steer the conversation back on track. Yeah, so this person says maybe he was going a little bit off the rails and she decided to help him steer it back on track. More often, men are the ones who jump in and take over. Meghan is used to an environment where people listen. I'm sorry, Harry is used to an environment where people listen to him, whether he rambles or keeps on point. Meghan is not seeking dominance or attention. When she does this, she is afraid that the message they want to promote is getting lost or diluted. And let's face it, she is no shrinking violet. There is no rank in their marriage. They are equal partners. If it bothers Harry, they should come up with a signal, such as a hand squeeze or a cough to alert Meghan to back down just a little. I thought that was fair. I thought that was fair. I mean, that's very, matter of fact. Okay. But anyway, the Derangers hated that comment. Now, here's another one. Personally, feeling about her aside, she looks amazing at 44. If you disagree, you're in denial. Oh, man. Let's see. Now, see, some of the people that's commenting are not staying on topic. They keep talking about how amazing she looks. Prince Harry and Meghan complement and complete each other intellectually, emotionally, and experimentally. This is why their press conferences or joint public address is a dialogue, whereas Prince William and Kate are direct opposites, explaining why their rare joint public addresses are a monologue. Oh, so their rare joint public addresses are a monologue instead of a dialogue. Okay. With no input or prompt from and to each other. Now you know why it is well worth your time listening to Prince Harry and Meghan. I like that person. Okay, this is the last one. They only show up a bit. They only show a bit that they can use against her. He did not collapse like a souffle. He was just listening to her and giving her a chance to share her views. Why does this paper continue to belittle Meghan? What is it that she has done that is so wrong? They both agreed to move abroad because the royals were never ever going to accept her into the family. And she has been painted as the evil person in this marriage, but she is no such thing and it is about time that people start to see what is happening here instead of falling for the hate campaign. Yes. Okay, I like these. So there you go. Now, there is Princess Anne, the Princess Royale. As you know, she went over to Ukraine. Now, people are saying that yes, Harry, in all likelihood, met with Vladimir Zelensky. However, people are saying, this is what they say. I don't know whether it's true or not, but they're saying that the British government made a request to Harry and Zelensky, please do not allow any photographs or mention of the meeting. And I believe that because they quickly arranged for Princess Anne to go over there. Yeah, that was kind of a last minute thing. I do not believe there was any advance knowledge that Anne was going over there. This is something that they came up with last minute because they could not send William, right? They didn't want to send William. It just seemed better to send Anne. They wanted to send someone with some true grit. So they sent Anne instead of William. And I think that was a good idea. If you just had to send someone. But yeah, that sounds accurate that they wanted to make sure that Harry was not the only senior royal to meet with Zelensky. They wanted to make sure that if William can't go, at the very least, send Princess Anne just to smooth it out a little bit, and that Harry and Zelensky should make no mention of the fact that they met. But we do know that from the article in The Guardian, they said that Harry and some of the security people left the main group and drove off somewhere to parts unknown. It was just assumed that that was a secret meeting with Zelensky. I could not imagine that Harry would go over there and not meet with him if he's in the same city, which of course was Kyiv. So, in all likelihood, that is exactly what happened. And I'm sure they had their reasons why they didn't want Harry to be seen with him. Probably just the royal family trying to save face. That's all. It doesn't matter. Okay. Hey, Lex, thank you for joining us. Mary H., Maurice Brown, Jeanette Williams, Hazel Jones. Okay, let's keep it moving. And of course, the one thing that Princess Anne was able to share that Harry in all likely would not have shared is that carton of Newports. You know, those go for like anywhere from $40 to $80 in the US, depending on what the taxes are in whatever county. A pack of Newports could cost you about, a box, a carton like that can cost you a lot of money. So, uh, and as you can see, Princess Anne never leaves home without her Afro pick, right? She never leaves home without that Afro pick. You can see she wore it to the, I think it's St. Mary's Church or whatever, and she's got it there. So, and it doubles as a weapon. So, in case somebody run up on her, she could take that Afro pick and skin them alive if she has to. She's been trained. Let's see. Shelly L said they sent Princess Anne because they don't want William coming back with an invoice for $250 trillion. Oh, hey, I can take a hint. I can take a hint. Where is he at? I'm surprised that William hasn't been like out somewhere and this guy hasn't stepped from like in between the crowd.
That's Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Yes, only William could go on an all expense paid vacation or holiday, if you will, and come back with a bill for $250 trillion. What do you mean? Thank you, Shelly L. Okay. Now, Prince William says change is on my agenda as he gives surest hint yet that reform of the monarchy will be top of his entree when he becomes king. How rude is this? Charles is still alive. King Charles III is literally in the beginning of his reign, I hope. And yet, his heir is speaking of what life is going to be like when he's gone. Do they get how disrespectful this is? Could you imagine what they would say if Harry was running around making these kind of remarks? Harry pointed out, I don't know how much time my father has, which means that he had not been in touch with his father. He didn't know what was going on. And so, out of desperation, he made a very public appeal. I need to speak to my father. I need to know that he's okay. Okay, that's one thing. But this is a real headache for the institution. He should not be allowed to do this. It was bad enough when he was saying, I'm going to be a royal with a small r. It was bad enough when he was going on about how he wants to modernize things and what his son will and will not do. Isn't Charles the legal guardian of George and Charlotte and Louis? Does he not have any say? And also, shouldn't George be spending time with Charles, learning from him? I know that he's learning from William, but William, also learned from Queen Elizabeth. And so there is a disconnect. Not only does William not spend time with Charles, but the grandson, George, doesn't spend any time. No matter what they say, William has not spent much time with his father. The only thing that we know for certain is that they have that once a year week that they spend time one on one up in Balmoral. And they've been doing this since the Queen has gone down into the storm cellar at the St. George Chapel. Gosh, I hope so, Connie Bomber. I really do. I really do. 10, 15 years, whatever we can squeeze out of it. I hope Charles has a very, very long life ahead of him, because even though I'm not over there, I'm not a tax-paying subject, I just dread the day. William is so inappropriate. So inappropriate. Yes, and they should not do that. They're saying he just doesn't have long. They're telling the world that it'll be any minute now. Uh yeah, he's getting a head start. I think it's inappropriate. You're right. You seldom see him with the Wells kids. He doesn't like his family. I think he's all over the Parker Bowles family. I think he's spent a lot of time with them. But I'm just being sarcastic when I say that. Not even that, and you're absolutely right. He does not really care for children. Queen Victoria notoriously could not stand her own children, especially when they were babies, when they were infants. Um, she thought that they looked strange, and the sooner she could get them away from her, the better off she felt. She see them for like a little time every day, and that was it. But that was pretty common among aristos. Mm. Well, I think that they should criticize him for this. Prince William is planning a major monarchy shakeup. This is something that is being leaked from Kensington Palace. I'll change the monarchy when I'm king, says Prince William. I mean, this is all over the news. This is all they're talking about, is what William says he's going to do when he becomes king. I don't know why that's okay. I do not know why that's okay. They should, uh, you know, take him to the woodshed about that. He has been beating this drum even before Charles went for his treatment, and he's still doing it. And the press gives him a free pass. Where's the word from Kensington Palace saying that Charles is very perplexed by William's constant boasting about what he's going to do to the monarchy? And also, doesn't that imply that Charles is behind the times? Doesn't that imply that Charles is not reforming the monarchy, even though Charles is the one who's been pushing this whole slim down monarchy for years? Now, Charles did say slim down monarchy, but that is not an indictment against his mother's performance. This from William, I'm going to change the monarchy. And then he doesn't even say what he's going to change. But okay, here's what we know. William does not like the costumes, especially the Order of the Garter, which I think they do that ceremony, every 2 years? He doesn't care for that. He's not into the ermine and all that kind of stuff. And as Prince of Wales, he refused to wear a kilt. He goes to Scotland and he absolutely refused to wear a kilt. He's just not going to do it, which I think is being derelict of duty. He's being very derelict of his duty. You are the king of the crown prince of Scotland. You're the Prince of Wales. That makes you the crown prince of Scotland. You will be the king of Scotland. And yet you will not wear the ceremonial dress. Not completely. I think next time they have a referendum, I think it's going to make it that much easier. I don't know that they're all that crazy about William up in Scotland. I know they don't really care for Charles, but William, I think he made fare a little bit better. But the stuff this guy gets away with. Let me see. Every June for the Garter right after trooping. Okay. And before the Royal Ascot. Thank you for that. Is there something that they do every 2 years, or I'm just getting that from nowhere? Thank you, Hazel. A win for William. Galling for the incumbent Charles. Unchallenged, unspecified talk of change offers future promise, even though in reality options are limited. No inconvenient questions about Andrew, royal finances, or Harry, and the media lap it up unquestionably. So I have not seen the BBC interview, and I probably won't. But apparently, the interview that he had with Eugene Levy. Oh, no, you know what? That's for Apple TV. The interview that he had with Eugene Levy for Apple TV, which I guess they talked about it on BBC News or they shared it or whatever. It was all softballs. It was nothing challenging about it. It was a softball game, not a baseball game. Practically no risk of injury, real or imagined, nothing. But there are some people in the comments, which I could not wait to see the comments for this because I knew those were going to be juicy. Let me see. Will Kate Middleton's parents receive royal titles after she becomes queen? I guess William is still okay with Kate's parents. And I'm going to say yes. I think that they are leaving it to William to decide whether or not they're worthy of titles. which I think it makes a lot of sense because the public may not be happy about it. And so I think for Charles, it's better to not taint himself with this ultimate favor to the Middleton family. Um, I'm guessing they're going to get a title and they're probably going to get a property. They're going to get like a real royal property to live in. Um, and it's probably only going to be for the life of Mike and Carol Middleton. Yeah, I don't think it'll be anything that they're going to hand down in any way. Um, I'm going to guess that for Louis and Charlotte, that they'll get something else from William. As a matter of fact, William can just give them one of the houses that he's collected every 2.2 years. Um, but yeah, I shouldn't think that they're going to get a title anytime before, but I'm sure William is going to give them something. I'm pretty sure he will. As a matter of fact, when Kate was indisposed all that time, they probably negotiated that and some other things. What do y'all think? You know, and maybe that's why William doesn't want Harry near his father. Aside from the typical jealousy, it makes me wonder if, like Queen Elizabeth, if they are going to, I guess, be a little weird with Charles, like they did with the Queen. How the Queen looked like she was like not being treated well. The way Harry was saying, I want to make sure the right people are around her. I don't think Charles is at that level just yet. However, Camilla, you know, Camilla, the Rottweiler, I'm sure Camilla knows a lot of things about William. Camilla has a lot of friends in the press and she knows how to play dirty. So if she truly cares about Charles, if she hasn't made an alleged side deal of her own with William, then I think Charles should be pretty well protected from, any weird stuff, whatever that might be. But one of the things that you can never downplay is the fact that William will be king. And as he gets closer to the throne, you're going to have people ignoring Charles and deferring to William, which is exactly what they did with the Queen. They began to ignore the Queen. Her household was being totally disrespected. Everybody was deferring to Clarence House, and the Queen's staff were being treated like stepchildren. That I remember. Thank you, Bunny Rose. Yes, please hit the like button. If Harry wears the kilt, well, I don't know that Harry's that crazy about wearing the kilt. I don't think I've ever seen him in one. But then again, he's not going to be king. So, it's not really that necessary that he wears one. I know that they both have when they were children, but adult Willie, the future king, he ought to be wearing the kilt. Yeah, he ought to be wearing it. So, when Levy asked the prince if he works a 9 to 5, William says, I do try to stick to school timetables as best as possible. So, most days we're in and out of school doing pickups and drop offs. That means no. That means no. Let me see. One of the Queen Mother's relatives once lived in Kensington Palace in apartment 7, where Prince Philip lived with his grandmother. Ah, okay. So one of the Queen Mother's relatives. So that, I'm guessing, was a relative from Scotland, right? Because that's where the Queen Mother came from. And so somehow they wound up in apartment 7. That's interesting. So yeah, I guess it's yeah, I'm thinking that they'll get a property. An apartment in Kensington Palace wouldn't be you know, out of the question. Mike and Carol are older and they do have grandkids, but I don't imagine that they need a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they need a whole lot. Huh. That's going to be interesting. Zakoy Farms, good morning to you. Elaine Parker says he ought to be wearing a straight jacket. Okay, so this week the Daily Mail devoted yet another story, and a lengthy one at that, to the fact that the Windsors have run out of working royals. When Charles kicks the royal bucket, William and Kate will preside over a monarchy which isn't exactly filled to the brim with charismatic young royals eager to do the bread and butter events that make up most of the royal work. William and Kate will have Prince Edward and Sophie, Princess Anne, who just turned 75, the Gloucesters, 81 and 79, and that's about it, unless they still plan to send out the poor Duke of Kent. We all know this. We've known it for years. So why churn out another piece about it, unless it's to point out that William is glum and work shy? Hmm. Now that is the very wise words, and also the very humorous words of Celibici, who I absolutely adore, who has not done a podcast for a while. But anyway, love those ladies. So yeah, apparently the Daily Mail put out an article saying that William is running out of the royals. Everyone knows it. I have been saying it. I said that after the coronation, they are going to run into a huge, huge dry spell. And that dry spell was with the anticipation that Charles might actually live a long time. And even if he doesn't, the very fickle public, you and I and others, we've just seen a coronation. And let me tell you, it was not that interesting. It was only interesting in that we haven't seen one in the UK for 70 years. However, that was a long time to wait to see Charles sitting there with that something stink look on his face, to see Camilla galloping into the Westminster Abbey as she trundled her way down the aisle. It was so boring. I will say that the music to me was the best thing about it. The music was the best thing about the coronation. Everything else was just really bad. Um, I thought the idea that you did not have the landed gentry the rest of the aristocrats invited. That was kind of strange. That was the first time that happened. Charles opted to have people from the charities and volunteers and such, which is admirable. But, that was not a whole and complete coronation. That's the only reason why I wanted to see it, because I wanted to see a coronation, not this hybrid thing. I wanted to see the ermine and the red robes and the coronets and all of that stuff. So falling short of that, I'm just like, and it's not going to be that much better for William. I think there will be a bit of a curiosity because, Diana's son, and of course, there's going to be a lot of fuss about what happens to Camilla and all that. But like I said, we just had a coronation and it wasn't much to it. I think the only thing that they could do to build up anticipation for William is to point out how different it's going to be, how much less of a coronation it will be. And even that, I don't know that is going to really make people that interested. Let's see. The York girls are tainted, and if Edward and Sophie have any sense, they will steer their kids away from that foolishness. Jacqueline Rippey, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Sophie's kids are not interested. They're not interested. Sophie's kids did not even get the title Prince and Princess. I do believe Queen Elizabeth offered, right? And she turned them down? Or were they supposed to... well, let me see. Yeah, they were supposed to be Prince and Princess, right? And then there's Zara and Peter Phillips. They didn't want the titles. Yeah. Well, according to the Fail, where is that at there? And yeah, you know what? They're absolutely right. The whole point of this was to explain why William looks so glum. No wonder Prince William is looking so glum these days. He's running other royals. The return of Prince Edward and wife Sophie from their hugely successful state visit to Japan serves as a reminder to the future king that when his time comes, there's almost nobody left to send abroad on these vital goodwill missions. Once there was a raft of royals who filled out the 25-yard wide Buckingham Palace balcony. Slowly, one by one, they've drifted away. And it's created a crisis for the time ahead. The golden years are all but gone. For the time being, in 2011, there were 12 major royals and their families sharing public-facing duties. Between them, they covered 3,874 engagements, flying the flag both at home and abroad. But in 2024, the last figures available, the personnel that is, had dropped by 2 down to 10. Wow. But the overall attendance figures had shrunk by almost half to 2,168. The problem for William is that things can only get worse before they get better, which is what we all predicted, right? It's going to get worse before it gets better. The oldest royals, the Duke of Kent, 89, Princess Alexandra, 88, though maintaining links with their various charities and organizations, have effectively disappeared from view. Pictures of the Duke grieving at the funeral of his wife earlier this month were a reminder of his long length of service, but also geographically illustrated he can no longer, graphically illustrated that he can no longer play a part in the essential royal rituals of tree planting, plaque unveiling, and ribbon cutting. The same goes for Alexandra. While their cousin, the Duke of Gloucester, 81, and his wife, the Duchess, 79, are always past the national retirement age. They're all past the national retirement age. Though they battle gamely on, they were never front and center royals and go largely unrecognized. Prince Andrew retired in disgrace in November 2019. Harry, together with Meghan, fled the coup, it says, in 2020. The troops have left the battlefield, leaving their future commanding officer, Prince William, in despair. And that'll be left, and that'll be left when he steps to the throne, will be him and Catherine, Edward and Sophie, and Anne. Just five people. 5 senior royals. You know what? This just makes me more and more certain that the Sussexes left at just the right time. At just the right time. Yeah, they say the answer inevitably is less contact with the public, and no amount of social media coverage can replace the lifetime's memories generated by real life meeting with royals. Yeah, because William is going to try to social media his way around it. The future king, but one, Prince George, won't be 18 for another 6 years. Add another 3 years for university, and that means he won't step into the public stage until 2034. 2034. That is 9 years from now. 9 years from now. And that's when George will be available for regular royal duty. 9 years. In 9 years, you'll have Edward, Sophie, Princess Anne will be 84. Oh, wow. Edward and Sophie, they'll be what, in their 70s? Their late 70s? And Will and Kate, they will be in their mid to late 50s. 9 years. 9 years. So even, yeah. And trust me, I wouldn't count on what's her name? Which oddly we haven't seen much of her, Camilla. I wouldn't count much on Camilla. Jeez. Yeah, they're in trouble. They're in trouble, y'all. It's going to be about 10 years before George is up and running. And in the meantime, you won't have Charles and you won't have Gladys because they will be in their 80s. And I'm pretty sure Charles is going to slow down a mite. So hopefully Charles makes it until George, he'll be in his 80s. He and Godzilla, they'll be in their 80s. Oh, 52. Okay. They'll just look like they're in their mid to late 50s. Wow. Prince William is running out of royals and how it will affect the public for many years to come. Well, let me see. Keeping up with the Windsors. So the Queen, gone. You got Charles. Oh yeah, I could just make this easy. Andrew, gone. Well, they're a sassy little bunch, aren't they? Very sassy. Oh well. Maybe if they dressed up like this, people wouldn't notice how few of them there are, right? I think they should dress a little sexier. You know what they say, keep them begging for more. Yeah, that's what they should do. They should dress up just a little sexier. Oh man, so what do we have here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the Queen and both of those, Prince Michael and Princess Michael. The Duke of Kent, please, y'all, let that man retire. Mm. uh, so remember, from this to this, that is the future. Look at all those people on the balcony. And Charles with his slim down monarchy. That is too weird. Um, Sign of the time. Brave Prince William opens up about a moment the rug was pulled from his feet upon learning his wife and father had cancer, and admits it took him to some pretty not great places. So that's the reluctant traveler with Eugene Levy, and it'll be on Apple TV October 3rd. Oh, it's on there now then. Okay. I think I have Apple TV. Oh, well. So, how much longer do we have to listen to his whinging? Does he not realize his family did not have to wait to see an oncologist? They got the best treatment immediately. Milking his family's illness and whining that he misses his granny. What a disgrace he is. Oh, you guys, they really laid into him. This is the comments from that article. Billy making Kate's making Kate's cancer about, wait a minute, make Kate's bout of cancer. Oh, okay, that's right. Billy making Kate's bout of cancer all about himself as usual. Interesting that Kate is the stoic one, and she's the one who had cancer. He comes off as a bit of a whiner. Brothers have that in common, at least. Okay. If that's the case, you have that in common too. All you're doing is sitting here whining, well done. So that was a response to the other one. All right. And it continues. Where is that at? Here we go. Another day, another picture of that beard. Either shave the dome and shave the face. Both are extremely nauseating. Being wealthy, I'd cover his surgery in Istanbul. Um, Finest cosmetic head and hair replacements. Being a ladies' man, I know it'll be worth it. He does seriously lack on personality stakes too, but given how dim our gentler gender are these days, he'll still have moderate success given his status. Let's face it, monogamy is as dead as, oh no. That is terrible. Okay, and then here's another one. We all have problems. It's life. Get over yourself. Wow, you think he was the only one that ever been affected with cancer of those close to him? Both appear to be functioning quite well despite treatment. Nothing to say, terminal, etc. Let's see. Should be more worried about rug pulled off his head, the bald fool. Sorry, there's nothing brave about being unelected billionaires. Brave would be if they admit to spreading stories about Harry and Meghan and then apologize to them. That would be brave. Okay. I have to say, I find it a bit tiresome. He doesn't come over as very empathetic. It's all about him and his family. Perhaps he genuinely believes royals are above the minor inconveniences of illness. Okay, last one. So he thought he wasn't human enough for cancer. I don't get it. This proves how these royals are so far out of touch that they think a disease is beneath them. Ridiculous. Good on Harry for moving away from these snobs. Okay. Uh-oh, I still got 5 more. William is still very lazy, grifter, using cancer as an excuse to earn millions for doing nothing. If the Queen was still alive, he wouldn't have gotten away with it. Even the king, the cancer sufferer, does more than him. Get rid of him. Every family suffers when cancer is diagnosed. Unfortunately for them, they don't have access to treatment facilities that she had. Stop the heartbreak stories and give us a break. You see, when they do this thing where they are out there asking for people to feel sorry for them, it always backfires. It backfires in the most epic way. Millions of middle-aged people in the country have gone through this without the need to share with the world. If he's to be a strong, memorable monarch when he ascends, needs to steel himself, do more work, conduct himself more positively, and get out from under his wife's hen-pecking shadow. Oh, that got personal. The palace was always adamant she did not have cancer. The treatment was precautionary. Now, all of a sudden, they discover she did have cancer. Not very reassuring, is it? If her care was so dodgy, what hope for the rest of us? Okay, this is the last one. He's not going on about that again. Loads of people get cancer. It's not themselves, it's their loved one. I think it's supposed to be loved ones. Welcome. Yeah, I think it's loved ones. Welcome to the real world, William. difference is your wife and father didn't have to wait 6 months to see a consultant, and they got first class medical treatment. Some people aren't so lucky. William also had about a year off doing nothing but going about helping his wife. Lucky for some, most people don't have his millions and have to go back to work. William. Mm, okay. See what you get? William event may have been targeted, a target that is, of male publisher blogging Harry's lawyer says. So it seems to me that with this case coming up about the phone hacking or blogging, that William and Kate may actually be kind of brought into it, I guess. Not that any of them would ever appear as a witness or anything like that, but apparently William had that out of Africa party for his birthday or whatever, and they got into Kate's phone. Somehow they got to Kate's mobile phone. And Harry's lawyer or lawyers are going to use that as a way to make a case against the Daily Fail. I think that's how that's going to work out. So far, there has been no word as to how incandescent with rage that William is. And so far, I really haven't heard where they have accused Harry of orchestrating anything to, make life unbearable for the Waleses. Haven't heard that yet, but I got a feeling that that is coming down the pike. What is that? They have no idea how Joe Blogs live on the streets of the UK. They have no understanding that many of us have to have experienced health disparities, and when we need cancer, it takes ages to get treatment. Oh, you mean the cancer care? Yeah, it takes ages to get treatments. Very similar here in the U.S. Treatment doesn't take so long usually, although it can take long because I know someone who was waiting a long time to get a mammogram because of a bottleneck. Um, but the thing here is that the insurance companies, they deny treatment constantly. Deny. And there are some people that work for the insurance company and they have like a quota of denials that they have to reach. And they are really stalling. They're really stalling and paying a lot of money for your insurance coverage is no guarantee that you're going to get the help that you need. It is so hit or miss for some people. It really is. They have and then of course with the present occupant of the White House, there are literally hospitals that are closing. There are hospitals closing. Even in the rural areas, there are hospitals closing. A lot of people that voted for this are losing their nearest hospital. And in some states, a trauma unit, which is, the best emergency care you can get, some states only have 2 of them, if that many, and they rely on helicopters to get people to the level 1 trauma center when needed, like after a bad car accident or something. So yeah, it it does not make sense that in the first world that we live in that we are getting this very poor medical treatment. Um, but that's inconsistent. Some people are getting adequate care and some people are not. Some people are getting timely care and some people are not. So it's very unfortunate. Let's see. Uh oh no. Oh, that's so unfair. That really is unfair. Yeah. No one should have to go through that. No one should have to go through that. I'm really sorry that happened. Yeah. You know, and for them to go on and on about how brave they are. I'm sure that there is levels of bravery there. But again, you're not queuing like the rest of us. You don't have to break through the system. The system opens every door, opens every door. It would be more humane, I think, to either explain your illness and help other people understand um, what to look out for, or just don't say anything. I would rather they not say anything because remember, both Charles and Kate, they do not want to tell anyone what type of cancer they have. They just don't want to tell it. And so if you're not telling us, then how do we know what we're supposed to look out for? That is the best way to serve the public for someone in their position is to be forthright and truthful about their illness. And neither one of them are doing that. Neither one of them are doing that. They just refuse. They don't want anybody to know. It's a state secret. And I think that's very unfair considering that they live off of public money. That is so unfair. I can understand Charles better than I could understand Kate. Think of the millions of people that Kate could influence if she was just honest about her illness. You know, my auntie that passed away last year, she said the same thing. She said, I just don't believe it. She said she wasn't sick, or at least she didn't have cancer. She said, I don't believe it. Exactly what she told me. She said, I do not believe it. Well, it depends on how much um, sympathy they want. That is what determines it. But you know, they're lucky that the press is on their side because if it wasn't for the invisible contract, they would be afraid to leave the house because the press would have no, under normal circumstances, the press would have really made life difficult for both of them, for all of them. And when Camilla doesn't want to do something, they tell you everything you've ever wanted to know about a sinus infection. Okay? I don't know what there is. I don't know about a sinus infection. Oh, you know what? Yeah. That is true. That is true. No one in the family, as far as I know, and I haven't looked at all their social media either, but none of them are talking about it. That is a great point. It is breast cancer awareness month, and even if they, if that was not the cause of the illness, you would think that they would take the time, especially considering the impact of breast cancer in the Western society. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They should have they should be talking about that. Thank you for your comment. Uh, I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I mean, because I've talked about Carolyn Graham when actually I don't think anybody else was. I'm always dragging her, so I think I'm gonna do that one tomorrow. I want to get more of the information because I saw a lot of stuff, but it was difficult for me to just like turn it into a dialogue. So I best wait until I can get more information. Okay, the Friends Williams World. Uh, Pity Kate's old friends from Buckleberry. By the way, Muriel sent me this. For they seem to be a little in evidence now. Kate has made herself more regal. Instead, Kate now associates with William's friends, particularly when at home in Norfolk. Even friends from Kate's school days at Marlborough, such as George's godmother, Emily, is it Jardine Patterson, knew William before Kate did. And the selection of godparents for George and Charlotte shows how strong William's influence is. Yeah, Kate does not have friends. Kate does not have friends. She just doesn't. Prince William is accused of hypocrisy and cashing in on celebrity status by lawyer after demanding 1.3 million over topless Kate photos, which he branded all the more painful because of memories of his mother Diana. Well, I think the occupant of the White House put it best. She should have known better. Next, he said in a statement the photos reminded him of Diana's battle with the paparazzi. Couple want 1.3 million from Closer and 42,000 pounds from local French newspaper. Magazine barrister accused him of trying to cash in on his status with payout. 6 people face trial over publication of topless photos of the Duchess of Cambridge. It wasn't even that much to see. And when I say that, I thought it was William. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even that much to see. I thought that was William. When I saw those curvy hips and that pouty mouth, I thought that was William. I'm just kidding. Long lens image were taken while William and Kate were on holiday in France. Now that was back in 2012. Snaps triggered furious reaction from royal family when they emerged. $1.3 million. Well, listen, we're in public. There's no assumption of privacy. The problem with Kate is that she has no skills that makes a royal lack of speech skills. Accent does not make sense. No charisma. Cannot do a proper professional interview. And definitely not a people person. Comparing her to individuals like Queen Raina and Princess Amira, whose speeches and interviews are phenomenal, She's truly incompetent, embarrassment. Girl, don't sign up for a job you cannot fulfill. Ouch. One of the squatties posted that. And what about this? Though it's been rumored for years that Catherine, Princess of Wales, did her own makeup for royal wedding to Prince William in 2011, legendary makeup artist Bobby Brown says that's not quite true. I love that she's been dragged for that. Oh yeah, I think I'm almost done, you guys. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm just about there. Am I? Yeah, I am. I know I showed that video the other day where Kate, you see how she has her hand in her belt? Kate has a problem. I'm just going to say it. She has a problem keeping her knickers up. She is having a problem keeping her knickers up. They are too big or too loose or too something. But when she does that, she's trying to discreetly give them a yank. She is trying to discreetly pull them up because they keep sliding down, especially over those bony hips of hers. They just keep sliding down. It's so embarrassing. Now, I think she ought to get a zip tie and just pull it. You know what I'm saying? Pull it tight and put a zip tie on it or something. Or maybe it's some safety pins. You know what I'm saying? Just safety pin it to the to your pocket. Safety pin it to your pockets or something. Well, that's embarrassing going around, trying to yank and lift and discreetly, you know what I'm saying? Like right here, look on the left. Why you think she got her hands in her pocket? She's trying to keep her drawers up. They keep sliding down. Every time she sneezes, they almost hit the street. So she needs a safety pin or something, or some double-sided tape. There's got to be a way to keep them up. I mean, is it a matter of the money? Do we have to do a GoFundMe to get you some new knickers? I'm embarrassed for her. She cannot seem to keep her drawers up. Yeah, this is gone too far now. There's got to be some kind of way to keep them up. But one thing's for sure, at least we know she's wearing them, because there was a time when we couldn't be sure. A matter of fact, every time the wind blow. But I think now she's being a little more careful. But yeah, they got to do something about that though, because it's giving me anxiety. It's giving me anxiety. I'm starting to think mine are coming undone. You know what I mean? It's just I'm just saying it's a bit embarrassing, and it's giving me anxiety because I think mine are falling down. I wish I could find that video. And cheers to the person who took time to put together, I think, at least 4 or 5 occasions where she seemed to give a little tug, trying to keep them, up there. But oh well. Yeah, I cannot find it. Let me see. I'm trying to find that video where you can see where she just it's very discreet. I don't, but leave it to the squatties. The squatties see everything. But she could not keep her knickers up. Well, it's probably better I can't find it. Mm. Okay, tell you what, I will have it for you all tomorrow. I'm not going to drag this out looking for that video. Oh man, but it was funny. Yeah, yes. You're saying she's got to try to keep them on a toothpick. uh Wait, I don't give up so easy. You know that. I have to find it. I was having too much fun with that. Oh my goodness, what did I do with it? Oh, is this it? Wait. Yes, I found it. That was September 19th. Yes, okay. That should make it easier to find it. Hmm. Okay. Oh, I can't believe this. Let me see here. Oh Lord, I still cannot find it. Is this it? No. Oh, I got it. I got it. Ah, I got it. Okay. So yank. See, I told you the hands in the pockets. Oh Lord, this is so embarrassing, you guys. uh, whoa, I got my drawers on the ground. Where those drawers at? Where them drawers at? Oh, you know what? This is a new low for Royal Sussex. It really is. This is a new low. Yes, yes, yes. This is a new low. I mean, that is the future queen, and she deserves the proper amount of respect, not people speculating about these twitches and ticks. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, well. Okay. Don't forget the link for this is at the top of the chat. I repeat, the link for this is at the top of the chat. Oh my goodness, you think that's what it is, Helen G? Gosh, I hope not. I hope that's not it. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, and lastly, this is the Invictus Center. They are getting closer. Let me see. Last week at the 2025 African Economic Global, what is that, Convergence? Summit held in parallel with the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, the Invictus Games Foundation, IGF, has awarded the AEMA Black Prize in recognition of its meaningful impact across Africa. The award underscores the foundation's growing footprint on the continent, including its active programs and partnerships in Nigeria, where the foundation has supported rehabilitation efforts and the establishment of the Armed Forces Invictus Center. So there it is. They got a recognition. What's his name has been working pretty hard. I don't know. I don't want to say, is that his wife? And it's not. But I think that is his wife. Maybe. I think she travels with him sometimes, but I don't know. I didn't see a name for her. But yeah, there you go. Love that white suit, right? Very nice. That lady in the maroon suit at the bottom, is that Tony Blair's wife? Maybe. What was her name? Rita, Michelle, or something like that? Anyway, that is what the Invictus Center in Nigeria is going to look like when it's completed. It is going to be state of the art. And closing with her. Even though there are people that are hungry and there is civil unrest, it doesn't seem to mean anything to her. She just, I don't know, she doesn't seem to care. And they said that she even was overheard saying, let them eat cake. Yeah, they said that the people are starving and they have no food. And she said, let them eat cake. So there you go. You know, that's weird. He kind of looks just like his mom. All right, you guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. And oh, by the way, I purchased a one of the early smartphones. As you can see, It has a camera. It has a very nice keyboard. It keeps time. That is one of the early smartphones. And it doesn't require any batteries. You just crank that handle and your call goes through. Pretty smart, huh? It's a smartphone. Just imagine they've been able to shrink that technology down so small you can put it in your pocket. I have no words. I have no words. Okay, you guys. Good night, everyone. Thanks. I'll see you all next time. Oh, is it raining where you are? Okay, well, I'm glad I could help. Good night, Cookies and Cream, Compton Cali Girl, Kate M., Maurice Brown, Rory, Connie Balmer, Lydia Washington, Santa Claus. Let me see. Myrtle, or is it Myrtle? Myrtle. Who did I miss? Sandra. And Fleur de Yucca. And Mary H. Zakoy Farms. Okay, good night, everybody.